Straight ahead on 12 News, what are you made of?
Left, right, left.
The fitness franchise that's kicking customers into high gear. Plus, testing a child's imagination, what one local library is now offering to help kids learn. But first, getting medical marijuana off the ground. We sit down with the state task force member in charge of overseeing the new law. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. One of the most hotly contested bills passed in this year's legislative session legalized medical marijuana in Minnesota.
The law is considered to be the most restrictive in the nation among the 22 states that allow medical marijuana. Now, a task force appointed by Governor Dayton will be in charge of implementing the new law. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Mike and Alex, the governor appointed 16 people to the task force last week. Among them is Champlin Police Chief David Kolb, who is a representative of the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association. He sat down with me today to talk about his role with the task force.
Well, really, I think our role on this task force is to monitor how it's going, and what I expect to learn is how well it is or isn't working and what can be done to make sure that we don't have unintended consequences but are still helping people.
Kolb said that in other states where medical marijuana laws were passed, one of those unintended consequences was an increase in the percentage of people, especially teens, who illegally smoked the drug. While the Minnesota law doesn't allow for the plant form of marijuana, it does allow for an oil form, also known as hash oil. And Kolb says one of his concerns will be to ensure that people aren't out there selling hash oil that's masquerading as medical marijuana.
Marijuana is not as powerful as some drugs, but it still is an addictive drug, and it still does cause problems. I think the best illustration to me is you're driving down the road, there's a car coming at you the other direction. Do you want the driver of that car to have been smoking marijuana? Of course not, because it increases the danger.
The task force is made up of a mixture of state lawmakers, patients, healthcare providers, and substance abuse treatment providers. No word yet on when their first meeting will be or how often they'll meet. In all, the state estimates 5,000 people will enroll in the program, which will begin providing the drug on July 1st, 2015. Mike?
All right, thank you, Delane. Crystal police are looking for a suspect in an early morning stabbing. Police say the suspect, Fidel Torres, stabbed a woman early this morning in the 6700 block of Corvallis Avenue. Crystal police say Torres knew the victim. Torres is about 5 feet 10 inches tall and about 170 pounds. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to contact the Crystal Police tip line. That number is 763-531-1020.
A 30-year-old Brooklyn Park woman may face charges after police say a domestic situation turned violent over the weekend. Police say she stabbed a man in the shoulder and set clothes and ammunition on fire near his front door. It happened early Saturday in the 6300 block of 84th Avenue, or Court rather. Police are seeking second-degree assault charges.
Maple Grove Police will host a community notification meeting Tuesday for a Level 3 sex offender moving into the city. Level 3 is the most likely to reoffend. Terrence Olive is scheduled to move into a home in the 13,900 block of 81st Avenue North. Olive served time for engaging in sexual contact with a 10-year-old girl. The community notification meeting will take place Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Maple Grove High School. The meeting will offer safety tips and allow residents to ask questions.
Tuesday's All-Star Game will be a home run for many local restaurants and hotels. All-Star Game festivities are expected to bring in about $75 million to the Twin Cities economy. But according to a nonpartisan think tank, not everyone in the service industry is benefiting. Minnesota 2020 held a press conference Monday to outline their findings on hotel workers. They say hotels have dramatically cut staff levels to increase profits. The organization also says hotel workers are subject to low wages and sometimes dangerous work conditions.
My data looked at the entire Twin Cities region. So everything such as the average wages for hotel workers, which are about $22,000 to $23,000, the heavy workloads, these represent Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and the entire Twin Cities region.
Minnesota 2020 is calling on the hotel industry to share some of the profits with workers, many of whom are women and immigrant workers. About 160,000 people are expected in the Metro for All-Star Game festivities. Metro Transit is taking some heat for not operating a West Metro Express bus route for Tuesday night's All-Star Game. The popular Twins Express Route 679 runs from the County Road 73 park and ride off of I-394 in Minnetonka. It operates for all 81 Twins home games. However, Metro Transit says there would not be strong enough demand to operate the route Tuesday to justify the expense. Twins season ticket holders with All-Star Game tickets disagree, though, with one fan calling it, quote, a colossal screw-up. Getting young children excited about reading is the goal of a new pilot program at the Rockford Road Library in Crystal.
As Carissa Wyant reports, the library now has technology designed specifically for young children and adults to use together.
Rag, bag.
4-year-old Malcolm and his mom are learning something new at the Rockford Road Library in Crystal.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave.
Librarian Margaret Hall is showing them how to use one of the library's 2 new iPads.
I think he really liked it because it was like, had a lot of animals and he likes animals.
Now, in addition to checking out books, movies, and other materials at the Rockford Road Library, folks can check out the latest technology.
Oh, books are here too. This isn't replacing books. This is to supplement the books.
The library has 2 iPads, which can be checked out by a parent of a young child for up to 2 hours of in-library use.
And they are preloaded with applications that will develop those early literacy skills around the 5 best practices of read, write, play, talk, and sing.
The library got a grant to pilot its iPads and pre-readers program at 10 Hennepin County libraries this summer.
I think it's really cool since like we don't have an iPad and I don't usually let him go on stuff like that, but if it's educational, I think that's a really good idea.
So far, it's been a hit with kids and parents.
Lots of giggles, lots of fun. Parents have said, oh, there's so much more here than I knew about. We'll have to check this out again.
Just like the traditional print book, experts say that the iPads can be a jumping-off point for conversation and imagination. If the program's successful, it will be expanded in the future. Reporting in Crystal, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
Other libraries piloting the program include the Brookdale and Champlin libraries. Well, coming up, a story that could motivate you or make you cringe. We'll show you a fitness franchise that's pushing people to their physical limits.
And then a little bit later in sports, a Plymouth team plays for a championship at the USA Cup weekend tournament.
But first, free air conditioning for Tuesday night's All-Star Game. Out-of-towners might say it's a little cold, but for most of us, it should be beautiful. We'll be right back. The primary election is still about a month away in Minnesota, but the Secretary of State's office reports more voters are taking advantage of a new absentee voting law. So far this year, more than 2,300 voters have cast a ballot for the August 12th primary. The Secretary of State's office says that's up 47% from the last non-presidential year back in 2010. Voters no longer need an excuse to vote absentee. You can request a ballot online at mnvotes.org. And in addition to statewide primaries, there are local primaries in 3 Northwest Metro suburbs. Crystal has 3 primaries for council members. Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center each are holding primaries for mayor and council members. There's a new fitness franchise moving into the Metro, or should we say storming into the Metro?
Oh, that's right. There is nothing lightweight about 9 Round. It's a 30-minute kickbox fitness franchise that packs a punch.
Squat, knee drive, squat, knee drive.
Head trainer Irie Collins is demanding.
30 seconds.
And he's never satisfied.
The last 30 seconds, we're burning it out. We're high intensity. How much can you give me? What do you got in your tank? I need it right now.
Welcome to 9 Round.
Right again. Right again.
It's a high-intensity 30-minute total body workout and new kickboxing fitness franchise hitting the Metro.
When I first started, I thought I was gonna puke about 3 times. Now I'm down to about 1 time per workout.
That's improvement for Brittany Olson. She started coming to the Brooklyn Park shop 3 weeks ago, and she keeps coming back.
Every day you come, every exercise is different. So you're always kind of doing something different, which is why I love it, because you never get bored of it.
Burn it out, burn it out, burn it out. Quick, quick,
quick. The workout changes every single day. So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, ask them, any member that's been with us, they've never done the same thing. The one thing they have done is got their butt kicked every time they come in the door. Excellent, excellent.
9 different stations, 9 rounds of 3 to 4 minutes each.
Right, left, right.
No classes, just 30 minutes of cardio and resistance with a persistent trainer or two roving the circuit.
You're always moving up to the next level. So they'll throw in another kick, another punch, an extra this or that, or an extra weight. You can move up your weights. You can push yourself harder each time you go.
Less back next time, less back next time. Push through, push through.
Everyone has their own goals.
Good, right there, go.
Irie Collins and this new business just want to see those goals accomplished.
You know, what we're doing is we're changing lives 9 rounds at a time.
9 Round opened recently in Plymouth and Medina too. There's plans to open 2 shops in Maple Grove as well. Coming up, photos that could win Maple Grove residents some prize money.
But first, in sports, a former Wayzata hockey standout tests his skills at the Minnesota Wild Development Camp. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. Getting to the NHL is a lot of work, right? No doubt about that. And there's a local guy who's on the road. He's trying to get it.
He's hoping to make it. He's got some strides to go, but improving as a college player right now. The Minnesota Wild brought in some of its top young players for the 2014 development camp. One of those guys is former Wayzata high school star Mario Lucia. Lucia was drafted by the Wild in 2011 following his junior year at Wayzata. He has now played 2 seasons at Notre Dame, scoring 16 goals and 31 points for the Irish this past winter. Lucia probably isn't ready for the NHL level right now, but the Plymouth native feels good about his progression.
Just getting more mature and being stronger. I mean, you got a big frame and you just got to keep putting mass on and stuff like that. And with mass comes everything like speed and strength and just being able to be playing against men instead of playing against boys like you were in high school.
You know what? He's a clever player. I love the way he distributes the puck. He moves his feet, he sees the ice, he gives the puck up, he skates. You can, in a way, you know, you can generalize and say you can kind of tell that he comes from a hockey family because he gets the game.
Another local guy at the camp, Breck graduate Grant Opperman. Opperman was an invitee and will be a sophomore at Dartmouth this fall. He tallied 19 points for the Big Green last year. The development camp wraps up with a scrimmage that's open to the public at XL Center Monday night at 6:30. The 96-team Gopher Classic American Legion baseball tournament moved into the championship rounds after pool play at 16 sites. Champlin Park, the lone local team to advance. They faced Edina Monday morning. Top of the 3rd, Champlin's Kip Youngquist with a chopper to short. Edina gets the out at first. Trevor Kaminsky, though, scores on the play. Rebels down just a run at this point at 3-2. But Edina pitcher Harrison Egley was in control most of the game. He gets a strikeout to end the Champlin 4th. Trailing 6-2, the Rebels get a run in the 7th. Daniel Keel with the plate. He hits a fly ball to right. The out is made there, but Michael Brooks tags up from 3rd and scores in the sacrifice fly to make it 6-3. Champlin gets the tying run to the plate, but Egley strikes out Youngquist to end the game. Edina advances in the tournament with a 6-3 win. The main Schwann's USA Cup tournament starts Tuesday and includes the opening ceremonies that night. Prior to the week-long event is the USA Cup weekend tournament, which wrapped up Sunday. The boys U17 final pits Plymouth Soccer Association against Palatine Celtic Soccer Club out of Illinois. Celtic's Zach Yashira scoring there for Celtic, giving them a 1-0 lead. Second half, PSA gets the equalizer. Malik Gray's scoring. A short time later, Isaiah Mirpiri turns on the jet, steps around the defender, and the goalie rather, and scores. And PSA is in front 2-1. But a foul in the box gives a late penalty kick. And Celtic ties it up. And then with only a few minutes left to play, the crossing pass headed off the post and in by Jake Deutschman. PSA loses a tough one, 3-2 Celtic is the final. 2 other Plymouth-based teams made the finals in the top division of their age groups. MTA Blue loses to a team from São Paulo, Brazil, 6-1 in the U11 boys A flight. PSA Elite beat a team from that same club 3-1 in the U13 boys final. Last week on our first golf tip of the summer, we talked with Rush Creek's Aaron Jacobson about hitting out of a fairway bunker. Well, we're still in the sand this week, only a little closer to the hole. Jacobson, it's always a tough spot when you land in a bunker. Today we're in a greenside bunker, and how much of it for golfers is mental? Like, oh, I'm in the sand, just getting over that, hey, I can hit this shot before you actually even try to do it. Think, yes, I have the confidence and I can do it.
Oh, it's a big part of it. You know, if you can go in the bunker and say, you know what, I'm going to hit 2 inches behind this ball and hit it aggressively, typically you can get that thing out and onto the green.
Is that what a common mistake is? People are just too tentative. They're worried about taking too much sand?
Absolutely. They're worried about sculling it across the green too and hitting their buddies on the far side of the green.
Okay, bring us through this shot.
All right, sounds good. Well, we're in the greenside bunker. I've got a 56-degree sand wedge, and it's a really simple shot, contrary to popular belief. All we need to do, we need to get into the sand. I'm going to draw a line 2 inches or so behind this golf ball just to give you a target of where we should hit the sand with the club head. Now, you cannot, when you're out playing golf, draw a line in the bunker. It's against the USGA rules. But just for practice sake, we're going to draw the line in here and use it as a practice aid for us as we're doing some sand work. Now, I'm going to start off with my club face square and my feet square, but from that point, I'm going to open my club face, let's say approximately 10 degrees or so, and then I'm going to aim my body to the left for a right-handed player. What that does, that lines the club face up now towards the pin or the hole out there. And what we're going to do is pretty simple. We're going to take a shoulder high swing, shoulder high, and what we're trying to do is throw sand out of the bunker. If you can get the sand flying out and hit that line, and I did get the sand up to the green there, so that tells me I got enough power to get this thing out of the bunker. So with that being said, what we do, we start off square, open the face, aim left for you right-handed players, and now we're simply going to hit the line with a shoulder high to shoulder high swing. And you can see I've got most of my weight on the left side of my body. Use these simple tips and swing aggressively to get that ball out of the bunkers.
I got to try that now. Open up a little more and hit it with confidence, I think, is the key. Right?
He makes it look
Maybe.
so easy.
Yeah, he does.
Thanks, Sean. Still ahead, pictures worth more than 1,000 words and perhaps a little prize money to boot.
We'll be right back. Well, finally, the deadline is fast approaching to capture the perfect moments in Maple Grove, not to mention a little prize money.
Wednesday is the deadline for Maple Grove residents to submit photos for the city's Maple Grove Moments contest. You're looking at some of the entries right now, and there are 4 categories. They include people and places, also nature and wildlife, and there is prizes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.